Good evening, and welcome to another daily dose of encouragement. We're excited this evening to bring you a message that hopefully will uplift you and help you to do what you need to do and to serve God in the way that you need to serve Him. We know that there are many challenges in life, and we hope that these videos can uplift your spirit in the way that you need. I am very excited about the change in weather. We are about in the midst of transitioning from winter to spring. And I can't tell you again how excited I am for that because I love to be outside. I grew up in Florida. I love to run in particular, and I have a really hard time running in the winter. But I'm excited about this spring. I'm excited about the changes in the weather. I'm excited about it getting warmer. I'm excited about the sunshine. And I'm really excited to be able to go out to the parklands. If you're in the Louisville area, the parklands are a great area to go biking and running. And I'm really excited to go running there. This past fall, I had set myself a little bit of a challenge. I wanted to be able to run through all of the parklands, which would be about 20 miles with some pretty serious hills. I did not get to accomplish that goal for a lot of different reasons. I got buried in writing a book. I got buried in preparing for the birth and the third child. But maybe this spring and maybe this summer will be the season in which I can go ahead and accomplish that goal. Maybe you're not a runner, but even if you aren't a runner, I hope that you can appreciate the imagery of running that we see in the scriptures. Running is definitely used several times to convey a connection between our physical life and the spiritual race that we are running. And a couple different passages deal with that, but we want to look at one in particular this evening as we consider Hebrews chapter 12, and then we'll tie that into 2 Timothy chapter 4. But in Hebrews chapter 12, verses 1 through 3, right after this collection of great examples of faith, those who are willing to put their lives on the line, those who are, even willing to put the physical lives of their family on the line in order to accomplish what God's will was and to draw their spirits closer to God. When we look at chapter 12, we definitely have a transition. And notice what we see here in the first three verses of Hebrews chapter 12. Therefore, since we have so great a cloud of witnesses surrounding us, let us also lay aside every encumbrance and the sin which so easily entangles us, and let us run with endurance the race that is set before us, fixing our eyes on Jesus, the author and perfecter of faith, who for the joy set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is sat down at the right hand of the throne of God. For consider him who has endured such hostility by sinners against himself, so that you will not grow weary and lose heart. One of the key things about running is endurance. It doesn't really matter if you're doing a sprint or a long distance run, endurance plays a factor. Because if you're all out sprinting, it's hard to go beyond about 50 meters or so. If you don't have any endurance, you need endurance even in a sprint. The scriptures, though, tend to use this idea of a marathon, a long distance run in which we need endurance. You'll see that in this passage several times. The idea that we have this great cloud of witnesses, but that we also have the responsibility, in light of their cheering us on, we have the responsibility of laying aside all the encumbrances, getting disentangled from the affairs of this world, and being those who run with endurance, because the race is before us. It does not matter if you signed up for the race or not. You are in the race, and the race will require everything that you have. And again, you see this idea of endurance. You see it numerous times here. And of the greatness of the hosts of witnesses, the great cloud of witnesses that we have around us, Jesus is the number one there, and he is cheering you on, and he is encouraging you by his example and by his power. He is letting you know that you can finish this race, but you do have to set aside those things that are entangling you. So whatever it is, do some kind of self-evaluation, see what sorts of things are entangling you, and lay those aside and run with endurance, because in due time, you can finish the course. And if you focus on Jesus and focus on that great cloud of witnesses in your service to God, then you can run the race without growing weary. And as a runner, I can tell you that that is a fantastic promise. I would love to run a race without growing weary, but even I fall short in that regard. Turn a few pages back in your New Testament to 2 Timothy chapter 4, verses 7 and 8. We see Paul, at the end of his life, he uses the idea of running a race. And he talks about how he finished the race. Earlier in his writings in Philippians, he said, I have not finished the race, in Philippians chapter 3. Now in 2 Timothy chapter 4, he says he did finish the race, and he did that with great endurance. 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 7 says, I have fought the good fight, I have finished the course, I have kept the faith. In the future there is laid up for me the crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, will award to me on that day. And not only to me, but also to all who have loved his appearing. If you love Jesus, then you need to finish. It's one thing to start a race strong, but it's a whole nother ballgame to finish the race strong. And that's what God requires of us. He wants us to finish the race strong. So you may feel beat down, you may feel tired. That spiritual lactic acid may be setting in. You might have a side sticker in your spirit. Whatever is holding you back, excise it from your life. Get rid of it from your life. Because there is nothing more full of glory, more full of promise, more full of power and exaltation than to run this race and to run it with endurance. You are surrounded by people who love you and want to give you the encouragement that you need on this side of eternity and on the next side of eternity. You are surrounded by people that want to encourage you to finish strong. So whatever it is, if you need to pray with somebody, if you need just to talk with somebody, we stand here to help you and assist you. Please reach out to us either here on our Facebook page or on our YouTube page where you find this video, or on our website. Wherever you find this video, please reach out to us. We are just a phone call away or a text message away. We are just an email away, and we want to serve you and make sure that you finish the race. God bless you in your efforts, and may you find endurance in the arms of Christ.